Okay, so just as a reminder, a negative exponent is a ticket for it to move locations. So if I had 2/3 to the -1, that really means that each of these get a power of -1. So then you're going to get 2 to the -1 over 3 to the -1, which means that they're just going to both need to switch positions. So if I have 2/3 to the -1, whoops, really that's just going to make these flip. So that's going to be 3 over 2. And that's going to be the case for anything. Say that I have 5/4 to the -2. Well, that negative, if it's going to the whole fraction, just means that the fraction flips. So that is the same thing, oh my goodness, as, I forgot to flip it, so now it's going to be 4 over 5. And now to the +2. So all it did was it took off the negative so that, so it flips it so that the negative can come off, and then the exponent still stays the same. Okay. So another thing, if you have if we have, I'm just trying to review before I do that problem. So if I have 3x to the second, y to the fourth, all to the third, then that means that everything is going to get the power of the third. So it's going to be 3 to the third. And then for these ones, 2 and then to the third, so x to the second to the third, we're going to multiply those. So it's going to be 2 times 3, so it'll be x to the 6th. And then y to the fourth to the third, we multiply those. So really, you're just distributing that third to everything. So y to the fourth to the third, so 4 times 3 is 12. So it'd be y to the 12. And then I just do 3 to the third, which is 3 times 3 times 3, so that's 27. X to the 6, y to the 12th, and that's it. Okay, let's do that problem. Well, both of those problems. Okay, so we have x cubed y to the -1 all over x to the -1 and y to the -3. And then to the third. And we have x to the fourth, y to the second, all over x to the -3rd, y to the -1, all to the 1. Okay, so you can decide whether you do it inside or if you do that power to everything. It doesn't matter which one you do first. I do the power first because that'll make it usually so that if there was, if this were a negative, then any negatives I only have to deal with once. But either way, you'll still get the right answer. Okay, so I'm going to put the power to everything first. So x to the third to the third, that's x to the 9th. And then y to the -1 to the third, that's y to the -3rd. X to the -1 to the third is x to the -3rd. Y to the -3rd to the third, so -3 times 3 is -9. I just went mind blank for a second. Okay, now if this is to the power of 1, that means nothing changes. So x to the fourth, y squared, all over x to the -3, y to the -1. Okay, now for anything that has a negative exponent, we're going to need it to switch locations. So this guy needs to move, 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 and this guy needs to move. So you could move it like that, or you can do like which one's bigger and do that. It really doesn't matter. Actually, since I taught you that way, let's do it that way. So let's look at these x's first. So which one's bigger? And then erase this. Emery, you are moving. Are you a moving girl? Okay. Okay, so first we're going to decide between all of these which one's bigger. So x to the 9th is bigger. Negative 3 or negative 9, negative 3 is bigger. 4 or negative 3, 4 is bigger. And 2 is bigger. So they're all going to end up being on the top, which is nice. Okay, so then we're going to do 9 minus negative 3. So 9 minus a negative is plus, so 9 plus 3 is 12. So x to the 12th. Negative 3 minus negative 9, I have to write out some of those. So negative 3 minus is plus, so negative 3 plus 9 is 6. So y to the 6th, it'll go on top. 4 minus negative 3 is going to be 4 plus 3, so 7. 2 minus negative 1, 2 minus negative, so 2 plus 1 is 3. And now I can just combine those. So x to the 12th times x to the 7th, so we add those. So 12 plus 7 is x to the 19th. And y to the 6th times y to the 3rd is y to the 9th. So that's our answer. Okay, let's do that other one. That other one with k, it's really easy. I don't know why they're just trying to make sure that you understand the rules and putting something in there to confuse you to see if you still understand the rules, which is kind of dumb. But let's do that one. So x to the 4n times y to the 3rd, and then x to the n, and y to the negative k. Okay, so we are going to So first thing I would do is, you really don't even need the parentheses since there's no exponents there. We don't need parentheses technically. So when it's two things that are being multiplied times two things that are being multiplied, as long as they're being multiplied, you don't need them. But we'll keep them there because if your book is doing it, let's keep it like that. So this y to the negative k is going to need to go downstairs. Whoops. That n goes right here. Y to the 3rd, x to the n all over y to the k, because it had a negative, so it's the ticket to move downstairs. And then we're just going to have x to the 4n and times x to the n. So we're going to add those together. So 4n plus 1n, because that's an invisible n, is now 5n's. So we're going to have x to the 5n times y to the 3 all over y to the k. And then we're just going to leave it like that because we don't know which one's bigger, if k is bigger or if 3 is bigger, so we can't really combine them. But if you wanted to, you could do it like this. We could just assume that 3 is bigger, it doesn't matter. And just do x to the 5n times y to the 3 minus k. Because you subtract the bigger one minus the smaller one, put it where your bigger one was. So your book might assume that it's like that. If not, this is your answer. Okay.